Absolutely. So my name is John Arthur. I am a school teacher here in Utah in the United States. I teach sixth grade, which here would be 11 and 12-year-olds. And I teach all subjects. They're in my classroom all day long, and we do everything together.
Okay, thank you so much for your introduction. So without wasting a minute, I would like to ask some of my students to pose their questions. Lohita, would you like to start first?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. I am Lohita Girija. I am in 9th grade. I'm 14 years old. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, watching TV, and dancing. My future ambition is to become an English teacher. Shall I ask one question, sir?
Yes, please.
You were awarded 2021 Best Teacher Awardee. Could you please share your special work?
Yes, can I share my special work? I'll tell you, the thing that my students are known for, and the thing that is probably the best explanation for why I was selected as the 2021 Teacher of the Year, is my students create things. They make music videos, they make documentary films, they record podcasts, they make beautiful work that other people get to enjoy, and they get to share their voices with adults as well as kids. They talk about the things that they really care about. Here in the United States, immigration is a serious issue. Also, during the COVID-19 pandemic, they made a music video about what it was like to be a young person trying to survive in a global pandemic. And this is the kind of work that I am most passionate about. Work that puts my students in the driver's seat, that gives them control of their education and lets them show just how talented and brilliant they are.
So I personally believe that you made your students to be creative and innovative because of your influence. They must have done such a creative work.
I push them to do it for sure, but it's their genius, it's their incredible work that's on display.
Yeah,
for sure.
At the same time, you are equally be rewarded for this, for your wonderful work. Yes.
Yes, sir. You know it. You know that's how it goes.
So, Tedipya, over to you.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir. My name is Tedipya. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. Can I ask one question, sir?
Yes, please. Wonderful.
What's the number one attraction in Utah?
Thank you so much. We have so many attractions here in Utah. The number one that you could see on a globe is the Great Salt Lake. We have a lake here that's entirely full of salt water. It's a lake that you can go swim in and you can just float. It's really hard to get too deep in the water, and people love to come from all around to see it. We also have incredible mountains, beautiful deserts, forests. We've got a little bit of everything here in Utah. You can see over my back here, the sun is rising up over one set of mountains, and then off in the distance is another set. We live in a valley here in Salt Lake City. So the beautiful outdoors, that's probably our number one attraction.
So you must be lucky enough to live such a wonderful location.
I'm blessed, absolutely.
Okay. Nagalakshmi, over to you.
Sir. Hello, sir. This is Nagalakshmi. I am a 9th grader. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become an English teacher. Can I ask one question, sir?
Yes, please.
What subjects do you teach at school?
So the subjects I teach at school are, as I said, basically boundless. I teach all subjects. I have the same group of kids all day long. And so the ones that we touch on most often are mathematics, language arts, science, social studies, which is the study of history, geography, civics, as well as physical education. I teach my students music, art. We have a teacher that helps with that, but I also try and do a little bit of that myself. So basically anything my students need to learn, I'm there for them.
John, I think I personally believe that teaching at the primary level is tougher than teaching at the secondary level. Because
I agree.
dealing with the many subjects and dealing with the tender age group is so much challenging for the teacher. Am I right?
Yes, I couldn't agree more, but it's also the most rewarding. That's why I would never give it up.
Yeah, that's why you have been awarded the state best teacher.
Thank you.
Jagadish, it's over to you.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Hello, sir. My name is Jagdish. I'm studying 8th grade at Dr. Alaram. My hobbies are playing games and watching TV. Can I ask you a question, sir?
Yes, please.
What are 5 interesting facts about Salt Lake City?
What's most interesting about Salt Lake City?
What
You know
are
what?
5
I think that,
facts about Salt Lake City?
yeah, I tell you, Salt Lake City is a magical place. It's a place where people from all over the world have come to live together. My students, for example, what's interesting is we attract all the finest people. So in my classroom, I have students who were born in the United States, but I also have students who were born this year in Mexico, El Salvador, Somalia, and Kenya from Africa. I've got students who are from the Pacific Islands, so a little island nation called Tonga. And then also students from Southeast Asia, specifically Thailand. So the magical thing about Salt Lake City is it's a place where people from all over come together.
So it is a place of all races, all religions, all the nationalities.
That's right. It's a melting pot. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. So Subramanian Srinivas, over to you.
Hi sir, my name is Subramanian
Hello.
Srinivas. I'm 7th grader. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become an IAS officer. Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, please do.
What qualities should a teacher possess?
What qualities should a teacher possess? I would say number one, empathy, the ability to understand life and everything that is before us from somebody else's perspective. You have to be able to see mathematics through a student's eyes. You have to be able to understand challenges from their perspective. And so that would be the number one quality. Beyond that, I would say that they need to have patience, ability to take challenges and to work through them. And obviously, they need to understand the subjects they are teaching. But more than that, they need to understand the human beings that they are working with, the children. And they have to have a deep appreciation for the gift that is getting to work with kids.
So I do agree with
Thank you,
you.
sir.
I think I agree completely with you because these are the qualities I think needed for the teacher to teach his students effectively.
I
Bhagyasri,
agree, and I know you got that.
yeah, thank you. Bhagyasri, over to you.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. My name is Bhagyashree. Now I'm studying 9th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become a doctor. Shall I ask one question, sir?
Yes, please do.
Among all subjects, which subject do your students like most?
You know what? I would say that my students most like science. They really enjoy running experiments, understanding what's happening in our world, and how in 6th grade, where what I teach, we study everything from the solar system, the sun, earth, moon relationship, all the way down to ecosystems and the natural world that we experience, all the way down to atoms and molecules. And they love just understanding how the big things and the small things and everything in between relate.
My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become a police officer. Can I ask a question, sir?
I'd be honored.
What makes Utah so special?
What makes Utah so special? We have these things here in the United States called national parks. They're beautiful places that the government of the entire country has decided they need to be protected. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna hop into my ride real quick. I got this guy picking me up. Thank you so much. And the thing that makes hope you don't mind, I'm on Zoom with kids in the beautiful country of India. It's amazing. But again, we have these national parks in Utah, and we have more in Utah than any other state in the United States. There are more naturally beautiful places to come visit, and they're all different. You could go skiing in the mountains. You can go canoe or raft down a long, lazy river. You can climb rocks, and you can jump into the salty lake that we have here. There's so much that you can do, and we have beautiful wildlife. We have deer, elk, coyotes, everything that you can imagine here in our environment.
So Gagan, over to you.
Hello, sir. My name is K. Gavanta. Hello, sir. My name is K. Gavanta Ajja. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become a scientist. Shall I ask one question, sir?
Yes, please do.
What kind of techniques do you use to teach lessons effectively?
Sorry, it kind of broke out there. Did you say what kind of techniques do I use to teach lessons?
Exactly. That's what he's asking.
Wonderful. That's a wonderful question. I try to use really interactive techniques. So anything that gets my students up out of their seats, that gets them using their hands and working together, those are the techniques I love most. But my students do have to sit and they have to study. They have to do all the work that they are expected to do. They sometimes have to learn in ways that are more traditional. But when my classroom is working at its best, my students are using technology just the same way that you're using now to connect with ideas and information as well as other people out in the world.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions from any student?
And playing games. Would you allow me to ask a question?
Oh, I'd love it.
What are your happy and sad moments connecting to teaching?
What are my happy and sad moments connected to teaching? Wow, that's a powerful question. I'll tell you, it's been really difficult the last couple of years teaching in the pandemic, when my students were sent home from school and we weren't able to be in a classroom together any longer. That was really hard for me. And I had students who lost family members. I had students whose father passed away, and other precious people to them. And trying to figure out how to stay connected despite the fact that the world was falling apart, that was really a challenge. It was really difficult. But it's also a time where everybody was facing difficult things, and hopefully we all learned to understand each other better, and just care for one another in a kinder, more loving way.
Yes, John, I think we have come to an end of almost all the questions that my students have prepared. So before we end this session, I have to ask you one question.
Please.
So you have been an experienced teacher and dealing with primary school students for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
So as a teacher, I have something to ask you. So in the classroom, what kind of relationship you maintain with the students? A friend relationship, or a parent relationship, or what kind of relationship you try to maintain with your students? Because some students you have to deal with friendly manner, and some students, I think you have to deal with some other way. So what kind of strategies you would like to adopt in order to deal with the students? Because some students are a bit unruly to handle, actually. Because I have been to your country and I have observed some, especially some students are difficult to handle. In fact, some students very easy to handle. So what way you plan your strategies to deal with different students of your classroom?
Yeah, I adjust my strategies based on the individual student I'm dealing with. And what you're pointing to there is so important. relationships are the building block of everything that we do. It's the foundation of everything we do in the classroom. And I tailor my relationships based on the needs of the students. So, for example, if a student is growing up in a household where they don't have a father, if they don't have a positive male figure in the home, I will interact differently with that student. I will maybe spend more of my time teaching that student how to, especially if it's a young boy, how to be a good man, and modeling that for him more than I would for another student who has that model already in the home. Every student who is acting unruly, as you described it, is doing so because they have some sort of a need that needs to be met, whether it's an emotional need, a physical need, an intellectual one. They have something that is not full, and I seek to fill it as their teacher, but also as an adult who cares about them. My students, I don't have a professional relationship with them. I have a personal relationship with them. I care about them deeply, and I am here in service to them. I view my role as a teacher very much as one where I am in service to my students. I'm here to support them, to take care of them. And so if they need a hug, if they need an extra meal, if they need someone to just listen to them as they share the troubles and worries that are plaguing them, whatever it is that they need, I am there for them on top of the academic work that we do together.
Yeah, we do need to maintain that kind of rapport with our students. If we don't maintain that personal rapport, I think students may not come close to you, even
That's right.
to ask the doubts or even for anything. So we need to do that. So that's why you proved a greatest teachers of one of the greatest teachers of your state. So before we wind up this session, could you please give me a final message to my students?
Absolutely. Before this call, we were strangers. Now we're friends. I know more about you and you know more about me. And my message to you is, as you go, not just through school, but through life, seek friendships like these. Don't be afraid to reach out to a stranger, even on the other side of the world. Your teacher is one of my new heroes. And the way that he is so bold in taking chances to connect you with everybody makes the world a place where you will be not only more connected, but more successful. And please do all you can to follow his example. Be fearless in going places where you've never been and in meeting people you've never met. And if you do that, your world will just grow and grow and grow, become boundless. And there won't be any place in the world you'll be afraid to go, and anybody that you'll be intimidated by. And that's my wish for you.